Hey. Is it just me? Or should Akira's feet be, like, sticking out of the end of this blanket right now? Unless he's, like, bunched up his legs, it looks like his legs should be visible. There's not enough space from his head to the end of these covers for his body to fit, right? Unless he's bending his knees a lot? He just looks so abnormally small in this shot. Sorry, it's nothing. It didn't seem like nothing. You woke me up over it.
No.
I was just remembering what happened that night. You remember, right? The night before we went into Mementos to erase it, before we dealt with Shido.
Hey!
Remember how I said I'd finally found the place where I belong? Even though I said that, and really believed it, I still fell right into Maruki's hands. I know I've made it obvious how much I want to be a human. More than once, I thought it would give me a chance with Lady On, but that's a delusion. You're delusional? You have no shot. What I did was just so lame. You've been lame this entire game! Why would you care now? I can't believe I was off having a blast while you were busy trying to help us. You owe me one. I don't think a single favor is gonna make up for what I did. I already owe you a whole lot more than that. Now that I think about it, you've been helping me from the very beginning. Heck, I was locked up in a prison when we first met. I'm nowhere near cool. Oh my goodness, he's actually learning. Nowhere near it. Finally, they're letting me be mean to the cat.
What?
Yeah, I just said that. I didn't need to hear it parroted back at me. The amount of times you parrot stuff back at me, cat.
Listen up.
Know what? I'm gonna make you a promise right now. From here on, I'm gonna be more independent, please. I just kept relying on you for everything because deep down, I thought you could figure everything out for me. But that's all changing. I'm gonna stand proud on my own 4 feet. And I'm gonna be the one to protect you. I promise I will. Oh, you get your tier 3 here. I didn't realize. I can't remember the last time I used the cat in the party. I do like this tier 1, tier 2 fusion bit. That's a really neat way to do it. Them coming together into one. I've discovered a new... No, my original power.
All right.
Diego!
Okay.
Alright, time to serve Maruki is just desserts. Anyone who tries to pull one over on us like that is asking for it. Let's do our best.
Right.
Right. Sorry again for all the hassle. You and I are gonna be even greater partners now. You're not my partner.
Let's turn in for the night.
Well, things are gonna get hectic starting tomorrow. Let's call it a night. Majestic Presence. Oh, I forgot you get a new trait when this happens. Miracle Rush. Medium fizz damage to all foes with high chance of critical. Yeah, dude. Increases effects of allies' healing skills. May decrease SP cost. Very nice. Awakening the Phantom Thieves. So you're guaranteed to get that trophy from Morgana, right? Because Morgana is all story related. A new year is starting. You all look sleepy. What, did you doze through the new year? Was Shogatsu one big excuse to laze around? Good grief, Shogatsu's not supposed to be an excuse to relax, you know? We decorate with Kadamatsu, Kagami Mochi, and Shimanawa in order to welcome the Toshigami deities. It's one of the oldest traditions in Japan. Please stop making me say Japanese words. By the way, Cherry Blossom Viewing and even Children's Day are meant to commemorate deities and spirits. Japan's got a lot of gods, so naturally there ended up being a lot of events and rituals to accommodate them all. There's a phrase referring to all the Shinto gods as a collective. Anyone know it offhand?
What is the answer?
Alright, Takamaki-san. I bet you slept through Shogatsu. Huh? Oh, yeah, I mean...
Hey, wait!
Lady Ellen is panicking. Be a good guy and help her out.
Seriously?
I'm so unlucky, and I didn't even sleep through Shogatsu. Akira, are you awake? Can you give me a hint? It's some phrase about the gods, right? But it's kind of abstract, right? What's this phrase supposed to illustrate about the gods of Shinto? How numerous they are? That's what he was just saying. Yeah, I think that's right. They use a specific number, right? What's the phrase again? The one about how many gods there are in Shinto? It's not 3. 8 million just sounds ridiculous, but it might actually be ridiculous enough that it's right. But 10,000 makes way more sense, but Japan loves to go above and beyond, dude. I don't know. I didn't grow up in Japan. I bet it's 8 million. Does anyone in chat know? Is it 8 million or 10,000? It's not 3. It's 8 million? I knew it. Japan always goes over the top. Yeah, I think that's it. So people call the gods of Shinto the 8 million gods.
This is it. Correct.
That's correct. We call them Yayorozu no Kami, or the 8 million gods. Yayorozu, the character from My Hero Academia? Though that number is not meant to be taken literally. Yayorozu is essentially shorthand for myriad gods, an uncountable number. In olden days, the Japanese believed that gods dwelled in everything. What with all these traditions, you could say these beliefs still affect our lives today. It's a wonderful thing, really. We really need to cherish our history.
Nice going.
Lady On seems really relieved. Gamer moment. Man, I'm good. You're pretty good at studying. I'm impressed.
You've been awfully busy lately. Don't forget to eat lunch.
Those dudes are just sitting at the top of the stairs, definitely getting in people's way. Who put that butterfly there?
As for myself, be sure to order some jelly-filled bread and...
Go catch a mouse or something.
That's...
Let's follow it.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I actually have to follow? Chase it down so you don't lose sight of it. Where'd those guys sitting on the stairs go? People seem to have calmed down about the Phantom Thieves. What do you think about them? They're heroes. I see that their actions had a major influence on you, huh? Well, I want to report the news without being influenced by the public. Honestly, I wish I could interview them in person, but that's never gonna happen. We should talk to Ryuji.
Oh!
Hey, you see that? It went to the first floor. Yeah, I have eyes, thanks. Where on earth is it trying to go? Come on, we gotta follow it for now. Yeah, I've got it.
For real?
The nurse's office? What's going on here? They didn't want to have to make another room or model another room, so they're just gonna reuse the nurse's office that Maruki's always in. That butterfly.
Anyway.
It looks like we're the only ones who can see it, and it seems like it has some purpose. There's no point in thinking about that right now. Let's get inside the nurse's office quickly. Does this school have a nurse?
Lady Lavenza.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Well, you asked me to.
Oh, I thought humans exchanged common expressions such as that upon meeting. Well, it is irrelevant anyhow. Let's turn to the matter at hand. As I told you yesterday, there's something I wish to tell you. But first, please gather your other friends here.
It's lunchtime right now, right? Like, unless our classes might not line up perfectly. Also, Yusuke is at another school at the moment. He will not be here.
Here? You want to meet in the nurse's office?
This place is filled with the cognition of bed rest. Maintaining my existence in a reality controlled by someone like Maruki is no simple feat. But the exhaustion that it induces is limited by this place's cognition, so I may converse with you all in person here.
That all sounds like nonsense, but okay.
I see.
Let us continue this conversation once everyone involved has convened. Until that time, I will provide my eyes a much-needed rest.
Wait, rest? Lady Lavenza? I guess we should get everyone in here. Infiltration success.
What? Okay, it's after school. I was about to say, is it still lunchtime? How did Yusuke get here from Kosei?
I'm rather surprised no one took notice of us.
Considering how I don't have an adequate excuse for the school to approve your being here, we're lucky it went as well as it did.
As long as you maintain an air of confidence, you can fool just about anybody into thinking you belong. I must say, though, I hadn't expected you to actually reach out to me for something like this.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even remember Akechi was a part of this sequence. I didn't think he would be here.
Well, it's just as we said before. We've accepted your offer to work together.
Now's not the time to let personal stuff get in the way of our goal. But if you ever betray us again, we'll make sure you regret it.
All right, then. That's no concern of mine, anyway. Remember what I told you all before. We share a mutual interest. Until Maruki is defeated, we have a deal to uphold.
It appears that everyone's arrived. Does this mean you're ready to begin?
Ain't that our line?
Tell us what you know.
Yes. I wished to speak with you about the circumstances that led this Maruki to alter reality as you know it, as well as the true nature of his power.
You know all of that?
I admit there will be a degree of speculation involved, but only to a small extent. First, I will explain the situation with the current reality. I believe that Maruki has altered the cognition of the masses. In other words, it's thought that the alterations he's made are the result of his meddling with mementos.
He changed mementos? How is that even possible?
I do it all the time with Josei. I guess Maruki must have just gotten a lot of stamps. How'd it come back?
Wait, don't forget about our experience with the Metanav and Maruki's palace. Seems like this kind of thing has a habit of sticking around despite our expectations.
Mementos is the cognition of the masses given form. If that man is truly capable of controlling individuals' cognitions, and that man were also to gain access to mementos, it would be no surprise that he could impact everyone's cognitions and affect reality itself.
Could he really have done all that? I mean, it's assumed that Dr. Maruki has the power to control cognition, right?
Exactly. That man's controlling of cognition. Let's see. Why don't we refer to his power as actualization? Most likely, that actualization is a power unique to a persona. In other words, this man named Maruki is...
He's a persona user?
Which breaks the rules that had been set up in the OG Persona 5 of you cannot have a palace and a persona at the same time. But, you know, whatever. We have to do the Maruki bit, so...
That's impossible. There's no way to have a persona and a palace at the same time.
Determining when Maruki first awakened to his power is wholly impossible. However, by the time he crossed your paths, there's no doubt that he was making use of his actualization, although he may have only been doing so subconsciously.
What is this? The game even says you can't do that. That's against the rules of the first game. And Lavenza's response is, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that and talk about other stuff. Please don't think about it, and please don't question us on it, because we don't have an answer for you either. We just really, really wanted Maruki to have a persona.
Even if it is just his subconscious, he's using a persona in the real world. So his ability to make Yoshizawa-san think she was Kasumi-chan...
It was most likely through the use of actualization.
Still, though, even if we assume that Maruki has unique persona abilities, such as the case with him and myself, we still need to determine how he used that power on mementos as a whole, rather than a single individual.
Right. Even if there were some kind of power that could affect mementos, it's on a whole other level from what we've seen so far. A single person just shouldn't be capable of all that.
That's true. changing reality just by thinking about it isn't something humans do. It's something that, like, gods do.
And what if he became such a god?
What?
The god of control.
Indeed, the being in Mementos that you all defeated was a false deity that the masses deludedly clung to. It is easy to conclude that Maruki simply took over the false god's position when it disappeared.
Which I guess he can do because we need a third semester?
Took over his position? What do you mean? So you're saying society thinks of Doc as a god now or something?
Now, the Phantom Thieves are the ones who gained the masses' support after defeating this so-called god of control. So it would follow that the masses would turn to the Phantom Thieves next as their savior. In that case, why did they instead turn to Maruki, who did none of the work the Phantom Thieves did?
The masses were invested in the Phantom Thieves, not Maruki.
Wait, you what? What do you mean? We never wished for anything like that.
Is that really true?
It's most likely because
I don't see how we chose Maruki. It's still a little fishy. It's a little on the riding of how he gets all of this power, but sure, whatever. I guess we wished for it.
What?
So if we had just gone and talked to any therapist about our hopes and dreams, would that therapist have become the one that was a god instead?
After we defeated the god of control, we wished for reality to be like Dr. Maruki described it. And it happened?
Did you? You had a therapy session with him months ago. Does that count as after being yelled about, we wished for this reality?
I don't remember doing any wishing with you guys and Doc. I mean, when would we have even had the chance to?
What about our counseling?
You can't change the past, but you still want to keep your chin up and press onward. Is that the gist of it? Yeah, it sounds about right. I mean, it'd definitely be better if none of this had happened at all, but... Well, no matter what path you might have to take to get there, I hope your track dreams will still do you some good in the end. Ha, thanks.
Looks like you all walked right into the spider's parlor.
there's no way of knowing how many of those situations were intentionally orchestrated by that man. However, the result is still the same. A desire for his actualization was seeded within your hearts. Thus, I have no doubt that it was your own desires that led to their actualization.
So this is all our fault, huh?
Apparently.
We're the ones who told him the cognitive world really exists, too.
He has to be stopped.
Right, let's fight. If this is our own fault, we've got to be the ones to fix it.
Yes. This realization changes none of what we must do.
Very well. Then allow me to proceed. This world is in a very unstable condition currently. On the day that the God of Control fused mementos with the real world, the merging was undone through your efforts, and the two worlds are now attempting to return to their initial states.
So, what you're saying is this world has reverted to a state where the fusion with mementos hasn't been totally undone. That explains why Maruki's palace was visible in Odaiba.
Even as we speak, Maruki is still influencing this world in places where its boundaries are blurred. As slow a pace as it may be, he still continues to actualize the world of the masses as a whole. Should this continue, reality shall merge with mementos once more. The two worlds will again become one. When that happens, anyone trapped within the actualized world can never again awaken to the original one.
No.
This issue goes beyond the masses as well. Although you are all Persona users, it would be next to impossible to defy Maruki in a world completely under his control. To be clear, once the two worlds conclude their fusion, there will be no chance of your success in this mission. And I believe this fusion will conclude in 1 month's time.
We only have a month.
If memory serves me correctly, February 3rd was the date Dr. Maruki gave us, right? Could he have possibly chosen the time limit based on when his actualization will be completed?
It's possible.
If that's the case, we don't got another choice except to steal his treasure by then.
We'll need to secure our route to the treasure by the 2nd so we can send our calling card. Then, on the day of, we're most likely going to have to fight Maruki.
Allow me to produce the calling card. This is certain to be our final card. I'll pour my heart and soul into its creation.
Be that as it may, there are still some unsolved questions.
You mean the metanav?
Right?
What's the deal with the palace's name? Doesn't seem to affect the app's functions, but
That must also be a product of Maruki's cognition. He most likely learned that you could somehow infiltrate the metaverse. As long as he permits your existence, your method of infiltration will not entirely disappear either. However, in his heart he must have feared you would learn his identity as the palace's ruler. Perhaps such a feeling took the form of hiding the ruler's name from you.
But in that case, why didn't Dr. Maruki just actualize us out of existence entirely?
I guess because he doesn't want to, but I much prefer the idea that Maruki is just incapable of doing that. The idea that if Maruki really wanted to, he could snap his fingers and we would all stop existing seems ludicrous to me. He has his powers because of Yaldabaoth, and if Yaldabaoth could have snapped his fingers and we stopped existing, Yaldabaoth would have done it. So the idea that Maruki could just make us stop existing, because Yaldabaoth tried to make us stop exist, and then we were like too strong for that because we came back. So the idea that Maruki could just do it, and that, oh, it's because Maruki's actually a good guy is why, is stupid.
Maruki told us he wants us to accept his world. It may be hard to believe, but since we mutually benefit from his actualization, maybe he really does want us to submit.
Sorry, even if it does fix shit for us, I just can't accept the world getting treated like that. Let's start the infiltration tomorrow, yeah? And you? Sound good?
You're willing to ask me as well?
Duh, dude. The Phantom Thieves don't act unless it's a unanimous vote.
Fine then. You know I have no intention of accepting Maruki's world anyway.
And that settles that.
Wait, what about Yoshizawa-san?
We may not have summoned her as one of the Phantom Thieves. This definitely involves her as well. Maybe we should fill her in on our situation once she comes to terms with her own. What she does with that information, though, that's up to her.
Right.
If that concludes matters, I shall continue to watch over you, Trickster. Please show me the path that you choose for humanity.
Oh, she was just eavesdropping. Thank goodness no one else was eavesdropping.
I just